Jammers, and welcome to episode 71 of the Jams and Cocktails live podcast. I'm Brad Brock, and I'll be your host this evening. Joining me here in the legendary JNC Lounge, as always, is the incomparable Miss Jordan Taylor.
Hello.
And our very special guest tonight is the smooth and melty Mr. Sweet Butter Joe.
Hey! Oh, thank you. Oh, please. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Calm down. We got to get him out of here before the end of the night, you guys.
I think they like me.
Well, you guys, I'd like to thank all of you for tuning in to the show live tonight here on Facebook, YouTube, and JNC Radio. And also, thanks to those of you catching the rerun or listening in on your favorite podcast platform, such as iHeartRadio or Spotify. Wherever you're tuning in, of course, please give us a like, share, follow, and subscribe.
Smash that button.
Smash that button. You guys, we've got a fun show for all of you tonight. While we get to know Sweet Butter Joe, we'll take a peek inside the Jordy Files. We'll get our midweek motivation. We'll play a round of Name That Tune with all of you tuning in live. And of course, we'll be putting Joe on the hot seat inside the Lipton Tea. Ooh. But first, as tradition states, let's kick off this episode with our Shot of the Week.
Shot of the week.
Shot of the Week.
Oh. The audience is really excited that they don't get one.
No, they do not. Well, you guys, tonight's Shot of the Week, you might have guessed it, perhaps predictably. This is the Sweet Butter Shot. Oh, ooh, ah. You guys, it's very easy. You just pour and enjoy the sweetness.
Not nearly as elaborate as that shot that was in the video there.
Right?
No, my sister, who frequents the show with us, always is like, we want to do that shot that's on that video.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I got to figure out what it is.
Yeah.
And then we have to figure out how to light it on fire. So
All right, well, pyrotechnics.
Yeah.
cheers to finally being here with us, my friend. I know we missed you the last time, but it's good to finally have you here. Cheers to you. Cheers to all of you tuning in live. Cheers to you, Jordan.
Oh, cheers
Looking
to
beautiful
both of you.
tonight.
Oh, stop it.
Sweet butter shot.
Cheers. Prost. Slancha. Na zdrowie.
Well, that is like candy water.
That is
Oh, yeah.
literally candy water.
I could drink
All of it.
all of it.
It-
That will.
It's like your favorite Dum Dum.
That will mess up your tummy. I
Oh,
feel
yeah.
Like, if you
Yeah.
try to,
No. That
you
would
know.
definitely not be good.
It's like a Werther's original.
It is like,
Oh, it is.
Makes me
yeah.
think of my grandma.
well, you guys, if you'd like to join us each week for our Shot of the Week, just visit us at jncpodcast.com and click on the Shot of the Week link to see what we're planning. Then get everything you need from our friends at Drizzly. Use the link on our website and help support our show. We're going to dive right into it, you guys. He is one of the go-to saxmen here on the Treasure Coast. He's delivered smooth horn lines to tons of area bands and solo artists. He tours with podcast alumni Alex Meixner, and he's developed an amazing original solo show. We're stoked to have him here on the show tonight. Check out Sweet Butter Joe Tierney.
That was awesome. I love that. That was great.
Yeah, it's our song.
Right?
We were just singing that.
That's so weird.
I know that was the earworm that was stuck in my head.
That's a great little intro. I enjoyed that.
Joe, welcome to the show, man. As I
Thank you.
mentioned, it's great to finally have you here in the lounge and to get to sit down and chat with you and listen to you perform a little bit tonight.
I'm super excited.
Awesome. Well, I know many of our listeners and viewers are like, let's talk more music.
Oh, those
so
people.
we like to satisfy them straight off the bat. Here's our first tune of the night with Sweet Butter Joe.
That was fucking epic.
Thank you, studio audience. Thank you.
That was awesome.
It's amazing how many people you can fit in this garage. Sorry,
the crowd goes,
lounge.
They're up in the rafters.
Yes,
We go for garage chic here, and we as we always
yes.
say,
This is the chikiest garage I've ever been in.
cheeky and cheeky, as we like to say. I don't
love
know. I don't know if we like to say that. It's just what we've said today.
You can't have one without the other.
True, man. That was
epic.
awesome.
Thank you. That was the first tune I ever figured out how to do with this fun little setup.
Nice.
So it was the first YouTube video I did. It was the first.
It was definitely one of the
Kinda.
ones I picked off of there to just get a little bit more. You know, I saw one show of yours and wanted to get a little bit more familiar with what you did, and
Thank you.
it's so good. It's so good.
Thank you. Please.
It's funny.
I mean, I appreciate it. Keep it coming. But
So most of the shows here, I to promote them and try to get some people to come and check them out. I run sponsored ads, and I forget her name now, and it's probably best not to dime her out. But she commented, and she was like, "Live!" exclamation point. It's the only way to experience the greatness that is Joe Tierney. She said, you're going to have a hard time running a podcast with that kind of talent in there. I'm paraphrasing,
Wow, okay.
but yeah, I was like, okay,
Well-
challenge accepted. I'm probably going to disappoint, but
I think it translates quite well, especially with the foot cam.
with the foot cam.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Well, man, you have quite an interesting story and some new updates here. That so we're gonna jump right into
Let's
it
do it.
and have a little chat, man.
Let's do it.
Let's time travel, if you will.
Thousands of years ago.
Thousands of years ago to the beginning of time in the great state of Wisconsin.
Yes.
Oh, he's a cheesehead.
He's a
Oh,
cheesehead.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Eh?
I'm surrounded by
Midwesterners.
Midwesterners today here.
Don't you know?
Yeah, that's why I like him so much.
So, tell us when you got into performing, and was saxophone your first love?
So yes. All right. Where do I start? I don't want to be here. We don't want to be here all night.
From the very beginning, I was born in a barn.
My parents met, and so yes. I grew up with music. My mom's side of the family was very musical, especially. We did a lot of music in church. My grandma was the choir director. My uncle was like the lead in all of the dramas, the musicals that our church put on. We did all that stuff. All untrained, no musical education of any kind, just very naturally musical.
Like running through the
musically gifted
veins.
Exactly, yeah. So I was exposed to a lot of music early on. I did a lot of music in church, and I started saxophone in middle school band, 6th grade. It's funny, I always wanted to play the trumpet. I saw a video of, I think, Major Ferguson at some point when I was very young, and I wanted to play the trumpet. And then it came time to sign up for band in 5th grade, and I was like, you know what? No, I want to play the saxophone. And I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did. I think it's a much more versatile instrument. Nothing against the trumpet. I love the trumpet, but
Yeah, I mean, yes, you're absolutely right in versatility. However, I mean, I've seen some trumpet players go ham, and one of them being Alex Meixner.
oh yeah, he plays everything. But, yeah.
But yeah, saxophone. I feel like in that kind of primary school time, it's if you're not playing guitar or in a jazz band of some sort, you're going for saxophone if you're in a band situation.
Yeah. So, well, to take a step back in time from where we were, my first instrument was a guitar that my parents bought for me from a flea market. It had 3 strings on it, and I started strumming on that. And that's sort of, I started writing songs,
Sure.
as a 7 or 8 year old or whatever. I mean, I don't remember how old I was. Maybe I was a little older. So then I started playing saxophone in middle school, did the jazz thing. In high school, I think maybe my freshman year was when it really like clicked. And I'm like, I'm actually pretty good at this. And, there was a moment when I realized that how you can express yourself through music.
Sure.
Because when you're first starting, you're learning how to play an instrument, you're learning how to read music. There is no like actual musicality that goes into it. It's all just like learning how to walk.
Exactly right.
And then you get to a certain point where, okay, I have a relatively firm enough grasp of the fundamentals where I can actually start making music. So I, actually realized, hey, like this is awesome. Like I can really express myself and do a lot with this. And that's when I really kind of fell in love with playing the saxophone and decided I was going to go to school for music in college. And I was a music major for one semester.
Yeah, well, that's a perfect segue into my next question.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your time at University of Wisconsin Eau Claire.
Eau Claire. Amazing music program and music community at the University of Wisconsin Eau Claire. Nobody who's not from Wisconsin knows what the heck that is, where the heck it is. It's terribly cold. It has a giant hill that you have to walk. The dorms are at the top of this hill, and the rest of the campus is below. And so if you lived in the dorms, you had to walk that hill every day.
No.
Even in the winter. Yes, Floridians, winter.
Not sure what you're talking about.
It's awful. It was also on a river, and the music building was on the other side of the river. And in the middle of winter, it was always 20 degrees colder with the wind chill in the middle of that bridge.
Oh my.
It was awful. It was awful.
It sounds like the most beautiful place to go to school, right?
When it's not winter, it was gorgeous,
Right.
beautiful. I mean, that area of Wisconsin is beautiful. I just hate winter, which is why I live here.
Makes sense.
So,
Amen.
So I really only lasted. I went there because it actually had, for being a very small school, one of the best undergraduate jazz programs in the entire country, led by an amazing man by the name of Robert Baca, who's, I believe, still there, still teaching. He was the head of the jazz department. So I started out as a music major, and it made me hate music. I didn't like it.
I feel like that happens with school, you know? Like it takes the joy out of it because it's so much
academic.
That's the perfect word to describe that.
It became way too academic and way too forced. And I hated practicing. I didn't even like it just wasn't for me. It was too much. I don't want to sound like I was lazy, but it was too much pressure. Like this was it. This is all I have, you know? So I decided to switch majors. I became a history major, much more useful. And, but I still continued to be part of the jazz program. You didn't have to be a music major to be in the jazz program. So I still continued to be part of that and learn from Bob Baca and also the other, upperclassmen that had been in the program for a while and were fantastic, like amazing world-class musicians in college, right? Like it attracted that level of musicians, and everybody was very helpful. It was not competitive at all. It was a very communal type of thing. Everybody helped each other out, which is great. So I learned so much, but I didn't have to be a music major. I didn't have to learn about 16th century music theory. I didn't have to analyze, scores from, that just didn't do it for me. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it.
Now, did you graduate with your history degree?
History degree and a music minor.
Very cool.
Public history degree, actually, it was essentially a more practical approach to a history major. It emphasized work with museums, work with historical monuments or historical buildings, archives,
So
national parks.
worst case
documentaries.
scenario, if music goes to the wayside,
Yeah.
we could go see you at the Smithsonian,
Yeah,
and get a private tour, right?
Absolutely. I'm going to need to brush up, though. I graduated college almost 10 years ago. And
Oh, you're
used-
diving yourself out now.
I haven't used my history major once since I graduated. But I graduated with a degree. But I feel like I lived the life of a music major. And all
That's
my
good.
friends were in the music program. And I was still there all the time. I was still practicing all the time. And I was in the top jazz ensemble there for, I think, 3 years. And just being in that was incredibly educational and got to play with a lot of very, very like famous, well-known musicians that came in and stuff like that. So
That's very cool.
Yeah, so that was my college experience. I played with a couple of bands. And then after college, I moved to the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul, that
Right.
area, because it was very close. Right across, Eau Claire was close to the Minnesota-Wisconsin border.
Before we talk about Minnesota,
Okay, all right.
because we were talking off air that Jordan is a native Michigander.
Oh,
And,
Michigander.
I know.
Yes.
I didn't know anybody else used that word.
I do by proxy now.
That's great.
So I want to know if there might be a little Packers Lions beef.
Oh my God.
Here in the lounge
Don't
tonight.
get me started. I mean,
No.
how much beef can you have when one team has dominated the other for so many
True.
years?
Oh, shots fired!
Pew, pew, pew. Yeah, no, there's no rival.
There's not a rivalry.
I thought you meant amongst the states.
It's not
'cause-
at all.
Yeah,
No?
no. I'm
so
a Packer
sorry.
fan too.
Really?
Yeah. Mainly only because my dad is.
Okay.
I have no opinion on sports
I'm-
really. Besides, I always like the Dolphins.
I'm proud of
because
you.
their colors.
No, okay.
And the dolphin.
That sounds
But
Well, folks, there
anyway,
won't be
that's
any
sports
No, there
history
won't be
101.
any. There
won't be any fist fighting
Yeah.
tonight.
football beef here.
I thought you were going to say
No.
amongst the states because I know Michigan, Ohio are like,
Oh,
but
yeah.
and I don't know. I don't know
get
if
into college.
Wisconsin.
I don't get into college sports too much.
Yeah.
So,
Well, there you have it, folks.
Yes,
no
no, we
beef
both
here.
agreed. The Packers are awesome. The Lions.
well, as
Mer.
long as Aaron Rodgers comes back, but we don't need to get into that.
Fair enough.
That's
Right.
true.
Fair enough. Ooh.
I met Donald Driver at the Green Bay airport one time.
He
Yes,
is.
I had no idea who he was, and the podium stewardess people, or I don't know, just the airport people were like, I was like, who is that? They're like,
he's one of my favorites.
you
all-time
don't
favorites.
know. I was like,
Yeah.
he looks fancy. Like he looks like he's important.
He won Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, he was a beast. I
Yeah.
loved him. He was one of my favorite Packers ever.
He looks lovely. Yeah. I was like, oh, dang. But yeah, anyway,
Don't
that's
get me started on the Packers.
Fair enough.
We're in
I
it
mean,
now.
not to go on too much of a tangent, but it's kind of a sickness
Yeah.
Go Pack, go.
up there. I mean, it's like a religion up there. It really is.
Yeah, no doubt.
Everybody's a Packers fan. Everybody, we can disagree about so many things, but everybody's a Packers fan.
I feel like that's similar to Philadelphia and the Eagles.
There
Like
are-
the Eagles can suck it up or be the best, and you can. The thing with Philadelphia that I find interesting is if the Eagles have a shitty season, everyone in Philadelphia hates them.
Oh, those are unforgiving fans.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hates them,
tough
but
fans.
in unison they hate them.
Yes.
I remember back when Terrell Owens left the Eagles to go to the Dallas Cowboys, and in the streets they were burning TO merchandise.
they're
and
ruthless,
I
man.
was
Oh,
like,
no.
that is crazy. I mean, I'm going back quite a
Packers-
few years now. but-
Packers fans are a little more lighthearted, but I think it's all the beer
that could
True.
be too.
All the drinking.
and the beer and the brats,
The beer
you
and
know?
the brats.
And the cheese.
and the
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 cheese.
tailgating
Yeah.
before the game. Then we go in and watch Aaron Rodgers throw the ball.
True. And I
Don't you know?
have a lot of family from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan,
Oh,
which is,
yeah. Should be
basically
part of
the UP.
Wisconsin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
should really be Wisconsin. So they're really divided up there. It's Packer territory, and because you're closer to
Uh-huh.
Packerville than Lionville. So
Packerville.
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 We call it Titletown, but
I did go to Lambeau Field, and it is,
Oh,
and Lambeau Field is beautiful.
oh yeah, it's amazing.
It's really nice.
If you like sports, go to anybody listening. If you like sports at all, go to a Packers game at Lambeau Field in December.
Oh.
yeah.
It's an experience.
No
it's
kidding.
snowing, it's cold, but not too cold yet because it's not January or February.
Right.
It's that, I mean, people are just having the time of their lives, and it's always packed. And
Not bad.
I did that intentionally. That's my favorite live sporting experience.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, they won't let you do the Lambo Leap though when you're going on the tour. I don't know. There's like some.
no.
Yeah, my dad and brother tried to do it, and they were like,
probably
"You
a-
can't do that."
A liability.
Yeah,
thing.
that's what they said.
Yeah.
I don't know what the Lambo Leap is. No, I don't. I don't know what
Oh
that is.
well, you're gonna have to Google it. So.
Fair enough.
You don't know what the Lambo Leap
I
is?
don't.
It was started, history lesson.
Yes. See, here's
from
where the degree comes in.
Yes. Leroy Butler was a Packers, I believe he was a safety in the 90s. He intercepted a pass, ran it in for a touchdown, and he just kept going and jumped into the stands.
Oh my God.
And, the people went crazy and they're just, smothering him in the stands. And it became a tradition. It's now called the Lambeau Leap.
That is amazing.
When you're a Packers player and you score at Lambeau Field, you jump into the stands. It's a thing.
I wonder because they imposed. Sorry that this turned into a sports show, but I wonder.
We got time.
We got plenty of
plenty of
time.
time, yeah.
I wonder if the NFL imposed, celebrating restrictions.
Well,
forgive me if I'm not
For
super
COVID? I mean,
no,
they
no,
did-
just for celebrating in the end zone. Am I right?
Recently, they actually expanded the celebration rules recently
Really?
to allow for team choreography, essentially. So they'll do all sorts of things. Now, I don't know with COVID, they'll probably keep them. I don't know if they'll let people do the Lambeau Leap this year.
That's
I
devastating.
mean, last year there was nobody in the stands. So, yeah, I don't
Maybe
know.
they'll keep that area empty and put like a pad
Oh, they'll only fill it with vaccinated people.
or that. Yeah, yeah, it's a safe zone.
So it's funny. Not to go on another tangent, but you know what? No, I don't want to go on that tangent. We're all right. We're all right.
We'll save it. We'll save it for JNC after dark.
Yeah, let's go back to your question.
We're okay.
So to come back to the point that I derailed, what took you from Wisconsin to Minneapolis?
Over the course of the time that I was in college, I made a lot of connections with people in the Twin Cities, musicians over there. I also, for several summers, I performed at an amusement park that was located in the southern suburbs of Minneapolis, in Shakopee, it's called. And it was an amusement park called Valley Fair. And I played in the stage show there during the summer for a few years. We did the same half-hour show 5 times a day, 6 days a week.
Wow.
It got tedious. After a while.
I'm gonna say tedious
After
is
week
the
one.
word.
Well, listen, I my summer job was playing music, and it paid reasonably well. And we were done, by like 5:30, 6 o'clock, and could do whatever we wanted. I made a lot of connections with some fantastic musicians doing that. So I had a lot of connections there. It kind of just made sense.
Sure.
I had family there. I actually moved in with my aunt and uncle for over a year, actually, right out of college. And I didn't really go 100% into music right away. I got a desk job where I talked to truck drivers all day on the phone.
Oh, that sounds blissful.
Lovely.
It was rough. It's a tough job, and it I don't blame them for being kind of cranky sometimes, but
Yeah.
No doubt.
and just being on the phone all the time, it just got to be a drag. And then that leads to how I ended up down here. A friend of mine grew up a big polka fan, polka music, Polish polkas specifically. And he got me in playing with a band that he was in Wisconsin. After he was done with college, he started touring with a polka band, which is something you can do.
Imagine that.
It's a thing.
Amazing.
It's a thing. There's actually a polka scene.
Jordan,
For those of you that don't know.
you know where this is going?
I think I do.
I think I do too.
I don't want to be wrong, but I think I know where it's going. and I'm excited.
Carry on.
Okay.
Carry on.
My wayward son. So he introduced me to a gentleman by the name of Alex Meixner.
Alex Meixner!
Hey, there he is. I see you have an Alex Meixner Polka Pills bottle over there.
We sure do.
Hell
We
yeah.
might even have 1 or 2 left in the fridge.
Yeah.
That's actually a very tasty beer.
It really is
It
good.
is.
I'm good friends with the owner of that brewery as well, and he's a fantastic man. So,
Awesome.
Nice.
so he introduced me to Alex. Alex was touring all over the country playing polka music, which was never something that I was envisioned myself getting into.
Right.
But he offered me an opportunity. He needed a full-time saxophonist / clarinetist in his band. He was living in Florida, and he asked me if I wanted to move to Florida, live with him, and tour in his band. And I hated my job, and I hated winter, and I was very ready. I had not traveled a lot. I had not toured. I was just very ready to do something different and play more music. And so I did it. And I moved down to Florida, and I toured with him for a couple of years all over the country. It was an experience.
Yeah, it sounds like a life-changing experience.
It literally was. I mean, it literally changed my life. I mean, everything. That moment when I moved down here changed everything.
Sure.
It changed everything. I mean, all of my best friends I met down here. My wife I met down here. You know, I'm doing music full time, or up until recently, because of that. You know, I moved down here, and that was a total inflection point in my life. So, very grateful to Alex for that opportunity. And polka music was never really my thing, and it never really became my thing. And
Sure.
Alex will be the first one to tell you that. But it afforded me a lot of really great opportunities, and I feel like I got a lot better as a musician from doing that, from just playing all the time. And I got a lot better at following other people,
Right.
Because Alex does not do anything predictable.
As we saw here in the lounge.
Yeah.
That was definitely a life-changing episode for me and for Jordan as well, I think.
Yep.
His shows, playing in a show with him, is like riding a roller coaster without a safety harness. And I literally just came up with that, but I wish I had thought of that sooner, because that's what it's like. It's a wild ride, and you're hanging on for dear life, because he doesn't know what he's doing next,
Right.
and so definitely nobody else in the band knows what he's doing next. And that's why people love it, because it's so unpredictable.
Sure, you can go see the show the night before and then come see the next one, and it's
completely
crazy different.
He'll see somebody, and he has an amazing memory for people and places, and he'll see somebody in the audience that he met 10 years ago in Paducah, Kentucky, or something like that, and he'll remember what their favorite polka was.
No kidding.
And he'll play it for him, and all
So
of
cool.
nobody else in the band has any idea what's happening. So it was at times frustrating, to be perfectly honest, but it taught me a lot about being able to follow somebody else. And I've kind of made a career of that for a while, just playing with other people, being able to play along, being able to follow along, not having any idea what the song was or what was happening, but just nobody else knew that I didn't know what I was doing.
All right.
you
Well,
know?
it's a perfect segue into my next question.
I love setting you up like that. That's perfect.
Dude, it's so great. It's
so awesome.
are you reading my notes over
It's
there?
almost like I know the path of my life.
Well, so you got down here, and obviously you toured with Alex, and but while you were here, eventually you met and performed with so many of our local artists here on the Treasure Coast.
Yes.
Including some podcast alumni like Deal, Ryan, Xander.
Yes.
So
My boys.
yeah,
Yes.
Xander, happy birthday, Xander.
Happy birthday, Xander. It's his birthday.
Excuse me, guys.
Oh yeah, we're diving into the
Stealing my
Jordy
thunder
Files.
here.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, never mind.
Take it back.
But yeah, so tell us about getting your feet wet here on the Treasure Coast and working with those guys.
Yeah, so I played a gig at we played a polka gig at Terra Firmata I had not heard of Terra Firmata. I didn't know what it was. We played there, and I met Deal, and I also sort of met Ryan, but I mostly met Deal. We hung out, and I was looking for another outlet other than polka music.
Right.
Because, I needed something else.
Sure.
And also in between tours, I had nothing to do. I didn't know anybody. I knew nobody down here. I lived in Palm City, I rode
Harper's and New England seafood place.
Gross. Harper's.
You know what our saying is? I got herpes from Harper's.
I believe it. Just from sitting.
We want T-shirts.
Just from walking in the door.
Yep.
Listen, Harper's is one of our sponsors.
Oh no, is it really?
I'm just kidding, I'm kidding. But I do love Harper's. Harper's has a place in my heart.
I mean, I get it. It's a local staple.
Yeah.
I never. By the time I was old enough to go to bars in Wisconsin and Minnesota, they were smoke free. So when I moved down here and people could still smoke in bars,
Culture
I was
shock.
Yeah, you're like,
gross.
what?
Yeah. So I met Deal that night, but he either introduced me to Ryan or Ryan found out about me through Deal. I met Ryan Owens about a week or so later. And Ryan, he'll invite 7 people to play a solo show with him, right? Because he just hates playing alone and he loves playing with everybody else. And so I just needed something to do, and I needed friends, and I needed a musical outlet, and so I just started tagging along with him to beat the clock at Cobb's Landing and Fort Pierce, and just all over town, just playing with Ryan. And obviously through him, I met Xander, I met Patty, Xander James, Patty King, for the people listening who don't know who we're talking about.
Right.
And that's how I started getting involved in the local music scene, which was great. So when I wasn't on tour, I was here and I had gigs and I had friends. And that's kind of how this area started sort of feeling like home finally after a while that I met these people and realized like there's a legit music scene here.
It really, really is.
Some really talented people and a lot of gigs.
And to something that you mentioned about your college in the music program there, it's very similar to here on the Treasure Coast. Like it's such a cool community of musicians that are mostly, for the most part, ready to help everybody out.
Yeah,
and be a part of the community versus cutting throats and things like that.
It's collaborative as opposed to competitive.
Yes.
Ooh.
Also just came up with that.
That's good.
Write that down.
I need to write that down.
There you go.
Writing it down.
You can have that.
Yes.
But yes, no, I agree. And obviously anybody would prefer to be part of something like that.
Sure.
So,
well, that's
so
awesome.
I don't know if that segues to the next section of my life that you wanted to ask.
Well, it kind of does, because it goes from being tagging along with all the local musicians and being a sideman to your unbelievable solo show that you've put together. And I'm certainly sure that it was a process learning all of the looping gear and all of the effects that it takes just to get it right. But as we heard just moments ago, you clearly got it to a point where it is very, very good. I'd hate to say perfect, because I know that you don't believe that it's
could
perfect.
get better, yeah.
Because there's always something to add. There's always some, inspiration that you're going to have. Me as a one-man band, constantly adding.
There's always more you can
filtering through things. So I guess just take us through that development and becoming a one-man solo show that you now take around the area and perform.
Yeah, well, it does actually segue nicely. So while I was, touring with Alex, I would do that, and I'd come home, I'd play with Ryan, play with Deal, play with Xander. I stopped touring with Alex, I think, full-time. I stopped touring with him full-time in 2018, maybe 2017. But I still had a lot of gigs with Ryan, and had some gigs with Xander, and then I was in Jedi Magic Carousel with Deal and Tom Holler, Xander's brother Max,
which is funny,
and Joel Brown.
not to derail you, but the first time I ever saw you perform was with Jedi Magic Carousel.
That's such a good band,
at the
man.
Macaroni and Cheese
Macaroni
Festival.
and Cheese Festival.
In tradition, Jordan and I, we just happened to have the day off, and I was like, I think Deal James's band and Ryan and everybody was playing,
Yeah.
and I was like, we need to go and
Who doesn't
and
love
check
some
it out.
macaroni and cheese? Too?
Yeah, and like it's a mac and
Yeah.
cheese, but yeah,
It's the
so
best of everything.
you guys played, and I was like, this is the Treasure Coast band. This is like everybody on stage was a powerhouse in some way, including you.
You literally
felt
said
like
that.
it felt like a
Yeah.
super group. It did. Not to be, and I'm not an arrogant person, but that's what it felt like. It was kind of like we all did our own things, but then we came together to make like this awesome thing, and it was. I mean, I think that's probably one of my favorite musical experiences was playing in that band. It was just so much fun. The tunes were good. Like we were all like super tight. I love those guys. The energy was fantastic. I really miss that. I'll always be mildly pissed at Deal for leaving, but
Fair enough.
Sorry, buddy.
That group was strong with the force.
Yeah, no, I mean, oh hey,
No.
no, that was amazing. So, as a saxophone player, as a horn player in general, unless you have your own band, like a jazz group or whatever, you are really dependent on other people.
Right.
Whoever you play with, whatever bands you're in, you're dependent on them for your gigs, for your income. And so I stopped playing with Alex so much, that was most of my income gone. We played like 120 gigs a year.
Right. Who would have thought that polka was so incredibly popular?
That man
I learned a lot
has
from him on this
made
show.
Quite a career out of polka music, and it's incredible. And it's this whole subculture of America that I had no idea existed, and I know way more about polka and polka music, the polka underground like scene, the gossip. I don't want to know any of it, but I know it. I know it all. I know it all.
Scandal.
And no, more than you would know, more than you would guess.
Eternal sunshine of the spotless mind.
There's
comes-
there's some like old school polka musicians who lived. There's stories about them. Like it sounds like they were in like the Rolling Stones or something. It's ridiculous. And-
Jan Levon comes to mind.
oh my gosh. Yes. Very, very unique man. So I was dependent on everybody else for my gigs. Alex, Ryan, Xander, Deal. They all stopped playing with Alex, and the rest of them moved away.
Go figure, right?
And I kind of panicked for a little while there because I didn't know what I was going to do. I was playing with other people. I was playing with Melinda, Elena,
Yeah.
but that wasn't a lot. Maybe once or twice a month at most.
Right.
And that was really it. And I was like, I need gigs.
Yeah.
I don't want to get I applied to be a bar back at Sailfish Brewing.
Oh no.
And thankfully, they said no because they could tell that like I wasn't like it wasn't for me.
Low point.
And it's funny because I just wanted to. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I love Sailfish. I love their beer. I love being there. And I was like, all right, I'll see if they need a bar back. Well, I wanted to be a bartender, but they didn't have any openings. I'm like, oh, I'll do this for a while. Eventually, I'll be a bartender. I mean, can I imagine if that's like what I had done? I don't know.
Yeah.
Another one of those sort of turning points.
Uh-huh.
And I was having a conversation with Deal. I don't remember exactly what he said, but I remember him really encouraging me to just figure something out. Figure out a way to do a solo show. I don't think he envisioned this. I think he was more suggesting like play with tracks or something.
Right.
I don't want to play with tracks. I don't like playing with tracks. I did a little bit initially.
Sure.
Tracks meaning background music for, it's musician speaking.
The layman.
Yes. But I didn't want to do that because I thought it was boring and just it didn't appeal to me.
Right. Doesn't seem not authentic, genuine. Yeah.
So I wanted to figure out a way that I could do something myself. And I had a loop pedal and I had played around with it, but never with just the saxophone. newsflash, saxophone only plays one note at a time.
Right.
So it's hard to build, it's one thing if you're playing guitar, you loop a guitar riff and then you go, you're fine, right?
Right.
You're playing 6 strings all at once. On a saxophone, you can only play one note at a time. So it's a lot more involved. I had never beatboxed before. I didn't know if I could beatbox. I had no idea what to do. I bought I had never used pedals, effects pedals with a saxophone. So it was all brand new. I had just recently purchased a reverb pedal, a delay pedal, and this wireless microphone, and the loop pedal. So I started playing around with that. And through slowly figured out, like, okay, with these things, I have enough ways to make a saxophone sound different enough so it just doesn't sound like a choir of saxophones.
Right.
And I put a lot of effort into the arrangements and figuring out how this would work, and because I can only play one note at a time. I had to build the chords. I had to build the different layers of backgrounds. And I agreed to play a solo show at Sailfish Brewery in June of 2018, I believe. And I had maybe 3 songs.
Oh my God.
And I found that in my life, little tangent here, I found that when I've made the most significant progress when I've agreed to do things that I wasn't really qualified for.
Sure.
And it forces you to figure your shit out.
Yeah, very quickly.
And honestly, if there's any one piece of advice I can give to any musician, young musician, old, anybody, is put yourself in uncomfortable situations, agree to do things that you don't feel like you're qualified for, and then figure it out.
Yeah, because you're going to find out one way or another.
And, it was stressful. Fortunately, I booked it about a month and a half in advance. So I had plenty of time. I didn't have anything else to do. It wasn't working. So I had plenty of time, but I was starting from scratch, and I had to come up with 3 hours worth
3 hours.
Yeah, 3 hours worth of material, which is a lot. Fortunately, my songs end up being longer because it takes time to build the loop one note at a time.
Right.
So that helped a little bit. And I can just improvise for an hour on something if I have to. But I made it work, and I was terrified, and there was hardly anybody there. But that was the start. I'm like, okay, I can do this. And I had enough connections from playing with other people. Booked a few gigs here and there. I think probably Vine and Barley and Stewart. I probably was one of the first places I played. I played at the Twisted Creamery.
Oh yeah.
And Sailfish. Is that me?
Might be. Who, me?
It might be my wireless mic. Sometimes the aliens try to talk to us. So that was just the beginning of it, and it kind of grew from there. I added another loop pedal. I built the pedal board and kind of
Foot cam.
There it is. So this I started with just these 2 pedals here, the red one and the blue one, and then I added all these other ones that allow me to do way more cool things that make a saxophone sound less like a saxophone.
Right.
And then so at first it was all instrumental. I had sung a little bit, but I wasn't confident in my voice, and definitely didn't want to feel like I had to rely on it, for my living. So,
Sure.
So it was all instrumental, and then Alex and my best friend Tom Holler, they really encouraged me to start singing more because they knew I could sing. And Tom and I had been singing. Maybe we'll get to this later, but Tom and I had a side project called Hops und Schnaps.
Hops und Schnaps.
It was a German musical comedy duo, but I did all the singing in that, and much of it in German. But so they knew I knew I could sing. They knew I could sing, but I didn't think I was that good, and I did not think that I could make a living doing it. But then I slowly started working it in, and I took some voice lessons from Xander's mom, actually, Mindy, who's fantastic.
Yep.
If you want voice lessons, if you want to get better at singing, contact Mindy. I only took like 5 or 6 lessons from her, but it really helped me figure things out. And I got a lot better. I'm still not amazing, but enough to get by. And I feel a lot more confident with it. So now it kind of led to what I do now. And it's sort of a collection of various sounds that I can make with my mouth and sounds I can make with the saxophone.
And with the sax and effects.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Man, it's really exceptional, man.
Thank you.
And we're going to get to some more of that. I just have a couple more questions, really.
Okay.
When we were here with Alex,
Yes.
he told me to ask you, and forgive me, I'm going to butcher this
Oh,
name,
no.
but he told me to ask you about Eddie Blasenovich? Blasenovich?
Eddie Blazonczyk.
But, okay.
Tell Alex to go jump in the lake. No,
Yeah.
that's part of what I was talking about. Like there are things about polka music that I never wanted to know, and I know, and
We had even discussed reaching out to him to introduce you onto the show tonight.
Oh my
and,
gosh.
that may have been more available back when
Yeah.
you were supposed to be on originally, but not
that's
so
all
much
right.
this go
I'm
around.
not mad about it. Sorry,
Sure
Alex.
you're not.
Eddie Blazonczyk. Yeah, I could tell you a lot about polka music, and I don't want to.
That's fair. We learned a lot by like watching.
Alex is a savant. Like when it comes to polka, he's polka Rain Man. I mean, he can tell you what album and what track a song was, who recorded it, who was in the band, where they recorded it, what color the cassette was, or record, or what. Like he just has. That's how his brain works. He's a musical library. He can play anything. One time he played for me on trumpet a solo that he had in his high school marching band.
No kidding.
Yeah, I mean he just and me on the other hand, if I don't play something for a month, I forget it. My brain, I don't have that kind of memory. But.
Yeah, he was something else to have on the show,
Yeah.
and just a super guy all around.
Very a lot of energy.
Yeah.
He has so much energy. I don't know where it comes from.
Yeah, I felt like I had to like step my life up just because he was here in the room with us.
Yeah, it's funny because I realize looking back how much I owe to him for bringing me here. I made my best friend Tom Holler. I met him. He was the drummer in Alex's band. We lived together for years. We did Hops und Schnaps together. Like, he was my best man in my wedding. I met him because of Alex. I moved down here because of Alex. Just everything. It's crazy how joining a polka band can change one's life. I think that's
the book you should write.
Yes.
How polka changed my life, and not the way you think.
Yeah. I think we should call it, what should we call the book? Unintentional. I don't know. We'll come up to it. Living in Lederhosen. I don't know. This is the life I've chosen.
The last polka.
Yeah, no, that's already taken.
Is it really?
I
believe it.
That was the Jack Black movie.
Was it? No, the Polka King.
Oh, that's Polka King. Sorry, the last polka.
The last waltz.
Polka. Sorry, the last polka is a deep cut, like old school cult classic about the Schmengi brothers.
Oh my God. You really do know a lot about polka.
With John Candy and Eugene Levy.
No kidding.
They play the Schmengi brothers.
The Schmengi brothers.
And they're polka musicians.
Well, you mentioned that you had just that Tom Holler was the best man at your wedding. That was very recent.
Very recent.
Congratulations.
Freshly married. There it is. Look at that. There it is.
Oh, so shiny.
Yeah, man, it's awesome. It's awesome. I love being married.
That's awesome. And Shawnee is awesome.
She's amazing.
We've got family history with her.
That's right.
Believe it or not.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So that's very, very cool. Let's talk a little bit about your your residency gigs. So you have a regular gig at Vine and Barley,
Yes.
running open mic night there in Stewart. So
Yes.
tell us a little bit about that, when it is.
Every Monday at Vine and Barley Stewart, not Port St. Lucie. Don't go to Vine and Barley St. Lucie West. That one does not have an open mic on Mondays. So
True.
downtown Stewart, we put the sign-up sheet out at 6:30. It fills up very quickly. Well, the first several slots fill up very quickly, and sometimes there are fights.
Wow.
Nah, it can be competitive. The open mic itself goes from 7 to 10, and it's great. Deal actually started it years ago, and then when he moved away, then I took it over. So it's been probably over 2 years now, I think, that I've been doing it.
I feel like that happened. We had another guest. Was it Flint Blade?
Flint Blade took that.
He took over at Terra Firma.
Yeah.
Deal left a huge hole when he left.
He really did. Big shoes to fill. And it's funny because both of those open mics were on the same night
Oh my gosh.
initially, and then Tara moved theirs to Tuesdays.
Tuesdays, sure.
So yeah, it's really, there's a really nice group of regulars that are awesome, and there's always a few fresh faces that show up. It's a cool place to make connections, meet people that are playing around, and people that just come out for open mics, and that's the extent of their performing experience, and that's great too.
That's awesome.
And Mark, the owner over there, has been incredible and very supportive. He's helped me out a lot, and it's a cool place. If you like craft beer, they always have some amazing selection of craft beers, wines. It's a cool spot. You get to hear a lot of different people play music, and even if you fancy yourself a musician, and you
Give it the old college try.
it's a good place to gain experience.
Sure.
There's no expectations at open mic. Nobody expects you to be amazing, right? And in fact, it's probably the opposite. Most people at an open mic, you don't expect them to be professional.
Right.
You expect them to be
In there cutting their teeth
amateurs,
or just
and
getting out of their system.
And there are professionals that come through, but it's also a great opportunity to refine what you do. If you do aspire to perform at some point, it's great practice, because there's nothing like actually performing in front of people.
Oh yeah, you could sit in your bedroom all day long, and it's not the same.
Even I, feel different when I perform in front of people than if I'm practicing at home, and I've been doing
Right.
it forever. I mean, it's just different.
Yep.
There's no substitute for experience. And so I think it offers that. That's, what open mics are really good for in a lot of ways. Yeah. So
What other things you got going on that are on a regular basis?
as far as gigs go, that's really kind of the only thing that's super regular. Zach Jones books me at a few places where I played on a relatively regular basis. Gilbert's Coffee in Stewart, District Table. Playing there tomorrow, 5:30 to 8:30. District Table. Where else? Sailfish, occasionally. I've got a couple of places down in West Palm. Fern Street Wine Bar and Kitchen is a really cool spot. I play there about once a month. Lately, I've been playing Rosemary Square, which is in City Place, where it's just the outdoor sort of courtyard area, and there's shops around it. And that gig is amazing because you play for like probably 1,000 people over the course of 3 hours, because there's constant foot traffic.
Yeah.
I've made more money in tips playing there.
Sure.
I've played for more people there than any other place, because it keeps recycling, and it's great, and it's a cool place to play. That's one of my favorite gigs right now, is playing there.
That's how I feel about farmers markets, man. I do a farmers market every other Saturday.
Yeah, no, that's
and
great
I'm like,
too.
it's so early in the morning, but it's so worth it because you play for hundreds of people.
It's amazing exposure, and just, like I said, the tips aren't bad.
Yeah,
either.
I was gonna say if every other person throws $1 in the jar, it's a good take.
It was the only time I've had to empty my tip jar partway through a gig, because it was
Wild,
full.
right?
I couldn't believe
So
it.
good.
Couldn't believe it. It's a really cool spot. So, but yeah, the Monday nights at Vine and Barley, that's the standby. That's the one thing that's regular from week to week. So
Awesome.
Yeah,
We'll
and-
know where to find you on Monday nights.
yeah, that's the place. Come on out and and show us what you got.
Well, we're glad to have you here on the Treasure Coast, man. I'm glad you
so
decided to
excited.
make that trip down, and
Me too.
thanks to Alex and Tom for pushing you to do that. We are going to get some more music here, you guys. Coming up next is the Jordy Files, but first, how about another tune from sweet Butter Joe?
That's me.
My friend, I feel it's their appointed duty. They keep trying to tell me that all you want to do is use me. Don't want my answer. Don't want that use me stuff. I want to spread the news that if it feels it's good getting used, or you just keep on using me, yeah, until you use me up, until you use me up. My brother, we sat me back down and he talked to me. He told me that I ought not to let you just walk on me. And I'm sure he meant well, but when our talk was through, I said, brother, if you only knew, you wish you were in my shoes. Oh, you just keep on using me, yeah, until you use me up, till you use me up. much do you really do use me? You get me in a crowd of high-class people, then you act real rude to me. No, now baby, 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 when you love me I can't get enough. Oh, 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 I won't spread the news that it feels as good getting used. Oh, you just keep on using me, yeah, until you use me up. Till you use me up. Until you use me up. Till you use me up. Oh, thank you, studio audience. Thank you. Gracias.
Oh, now our mics are back
Oh,
on.
there we go.
Dude, awesome.
So fun.
Thank
Very,
you
very
so
cool.
much. I love that song. I've played that song probably with every band I've ever played with.
Nice.
No kidding.
Yeah,
I love
oddly
it.
enough. Yeah, that's a jam.
It is a jam.
Bill Withers, man.
Bill Withers. Rest his soul.
R.I.P.
Well, you guys, each week, the enamoring Jordan Taylor gives us a dose of on this day music history, celebrity birthdays and departures, and other tidbits that we should know in her segment we call the Jordy Files. Jordy. Jordy with the good hair tonight.
Oh, thank you. I grew it myself.
You didn't say anything about my hair.
It's looking good.
Thank you.
It's looking good.
Thank you.
Jordy, you said we have a big day today. What do we got going on?
We do. So, just a disclaimer before we get started. Today is definitely one of the best for birthdays on the Jordy Files, if I do say so myself. It was really exciting. So today, not February, May 26th, in 1920, American singer-actress Peggy Lee, who had the 1958 single Fever, was born on this day. Jam.
Jam.
That's a good song.
Fever.
Fever. And then in 1926,
It was also recorded by the one and the only Elvis himself.
oh, right. Yes, obviously.
Obviously.
Duh. And then in 1926, Miles Davis, jazz trumpeter and composer who had the 1959 album with Kind of Blue, he was a major influence on jazz music. And then I just wanted to say, if peeing your pants is cool, consider me Miles Davis. Name that movie.
Oh yeah. Name it in the chats and
In the
comments
chats,
there.
Yes.
I know what it is.
Yeah. And if you don't, shame.
Shame. Ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding.
And then in 1940, Levon Helm, drummer and singer with the band, was born on this day. In 1948, look, we're still way back in the 40s. This
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Everybody was born today.
Everybody. I wonder what 9 months ago was. Anyway, in 1948, American singer-songwriter Stevie Nicks from Fleetwood Mac, who scored the 1987 single Little Lies and the 1977 single Dreams, taken from the worldwide #1 album Rumors. In 1949, American singer-songwriter and musician Hank Williams Jr., the son of country music's greatest star, was born on this day. In 1959, English musician Wayne Hussey was born.
You just wanted to say hussy.
I did. Who was a member of Dead or Alive, who had the 1985 single You Spin Me Round Like a Record. And I wanted to, that's a good one too. Another jam. In 1964, American singer songwriter Lenny Kravitz, who had the 1990 hit single Let Love Rule, and the 1999 single Fly Away, obviously. And then in 1972, English rock drummer Alan White from Oasis, he is the longest serving drummer in Oasis's history, performing on 4 studio albums.
How about that?
Yes. And then in 1981, Isaac Slade, lead singer and pianist from American rock band The Fray, who scored the 2005 single How to Save a Life.
How to Save a Life, of course.
Jam.
Classic.
Yep. And then some local birthdays, or sort of local. Happy belated birthday to Jeff Farashedian and Summer Gill.
Hell yeah.
And happy birthday to Zaza Xander James.
Gender James.
Now we can all have the moment.
Boy.
Super envious of your New York celebration with Summer and Xander. Saw all your photos on Facebook, living vicariously. Shame on you both, but congrats.
Vicariously.
Yes, through them.
Vicarious.
Oh, did I say that wrong?
No, I just.
Oh,
I
was
just
like,
discovered
what?
that I'm vicarious.
Not to be confused with. And then on this day in music history, in 1964, Marianne Faithfull recorded.
From Gilligan's Island?
Is it?
No,
And
I'm
the
just
skipper too.
Sorry.
Recorded the Mick Jagger and Keith Richards song As Tears Go By, accompanied by future Led Zeppelin members Jimmy Page on guitar and John Paul Jones on bass. In 1979, Sunday Girl gave Blondie their second hit single. The track was taken from the group's Parallel Lines, which went on to become the biggest selling album of 1979. In 1984, this is a jam, y'all. Former backing singer with Stevie Wonder, Denise Williams, started a 2-week run at #1 on the singles charts with Let's Hear It for the Boy, taken from the film Footloose.
It's a
I
jam.
didn't know she was a background singer for Stevie.
I didn't.
That's
I learned
cool.
that today too. So educational,
I love it.
right?
The more you know.
More.
Stick with me, folks. I'll teach you something. I don't know what, but oh dear.
Lots of knowledge in those files.
Yeah, I know. I am the file keeper. In 1990, for the first time ever, the top 5 positions on the U.S. singles chart were held by female artists. Madonna was at #1 with Vogue, of course. Heart. Yes.
Alone?
Vogue. Heart was at #2. Sinead O'Connor, #3. Wilson Phillips at #4. And Janet Jackson took the 5th spot.
What year was that?
1990.
Wow.
Yes, pivotal. In 1994, it was the big day for the Jacksons. In 1994, Michael Jackson married Lisa Marie Presley, daughter of Elvis Presley. The couple divorced in 1995. Womp womp. Put that one in there for my mom. She loves the Elvis himself. In 2015, U.S. authorities were investigating the death of blues legend B.B. King after 2 of his daughters claimed he was poisoned. Karen Williams and Patty King said the musician had been...
Wait, Patty King.
Patty King.
Patty King.
I know Patty King.
King of the Fiddles.
Yes. B.B. King's kid.
You can see the resemblance.
Yeah, right? He get it from his daddy.
Well, Patty's mom is watching, so
She
she's got
is.
some explaining to do.
Yeah, right. Patty King and Karen Williams said the musician had been given foreign substances to induce his premature death by his business manager. Dun dun dun. And
Phil
Thank you.
Spector.
Laverne Toney.
I mean,
King.
he was. It's not like he died young.
I know. I was just
Yeah,
gonna say.
he
Yeah,
was
he had
up
a
Quite old.
he had a
Yeah.
solid run.
I
So
mean, not that whatever.
Yeah, not that it's ever a good time to pass away, but
Didn't seem that suspicious.
and he got to pass away in Vegas, so I feel like that's pretty okay, I guess.
Never mind. I was gonna make a very morbid joke. I'm not going to.
So yes, and then a nice segue into departures. In 1968, this is a weird fact tying into the birthdays from today. U.S. blues artist Little Willie John passed away in prison after being convicted of manslaughter. He co-wrote and was the first to record Fever, covered by Peggy Lee in 1958.
Manslaughter.
And Need Your Love So Bad, covered by Fleetwood Mac. And it's Stevie Nicks' birthday today. Yes, covered by Fleetwood Mac. Yep.
What a
I know.
what a web we weave.
It blew my mind today.
History.
Yep. Just all coming together. James Brown recorded a tribute about thinking of Little Willie John and a few other nice things also. And then in 1977, Billy Powell, singer with the O'Jays, passed away of cancer. He had the 1972 hit Backstabbers and the 1973 single Love Train, originally known as the Triumphs, and then the Mascots. They took the name the O'Jays in tribute to radio disc jockey Eddie OJ. So
now you know.
now you know. And that's all I have for you fine folks today.
Oh, the Jordy
great.
Thank you. And we got the right date. I pronounced maybe everything correctly.
Yes.
It was a good
I
day.
think it was good.
It was a good day.
Well, hey guys, if you can't get enough of that beautiful face, binge watch all the Jordy Files segments at jncpodcast.com. Just click on the Jordy Files link. The time has come. We're going to put Joe on the hot seat in this rapid fire interview inspired by the late, great James Lipton, host of Inside the Actor Studio. This is Inside the Lipton Tea.
My butt is so warm. It's a hot seat.
Super hot seat.
Just a hot butt.
Good evening and welcome to Inside the Lipton Tea. I'm Brad Brock, playing the part of Mr. James Lipton.
Lipston.
And I'm here
Hot
with
lips.
singer-songwriter and saxophone extraordinaire, Sweet Butter Joe. Joe, are you ready to begin?
Yes, I am.
What is your favorite word?
Toboggan.
It's a good one. What is your least favorite word?
Can it be a phrase?
Just got to hyphenate it.
Can you turn down?
Can you turn down?
Anybody who says that to me at a gig immediately pisses me off because I play a saxophone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
right. This is going to be difficult.
If you want background music, I can play some Kenny G CDs for you.
Yeah, who put the jukebox back on?
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. No. Favorite single word. No.
It's a common one, believe it or not.
Yeah, I believe that.
What turns you on?
My beautiful wife. Love you, honey.
What turns you off?
Stress, anxiety, anything that's like distracting.
All right.
Yeah. Just all of that. Yes.
What sound or noise do you love?
I'm a big ASMR fan. So, whispers,
Really?
rain, the sound of running water.
No kidding.
Yeah, actually.
And then what you mentioned a term. What is it? What ASLR?
ASMR. You've never heard of ASMR?
I have not.
Oh my God, Brad, where have you
Teaching
been,
me something today.
man?
Oh.
It's a whole thing. You listen to people. There's so many different things. People whisper into the mic. They'll scratch on the mic. They'll like.
So it's particular to a microphone? or
Well,
recorded?
It's
sound?
on YouTube. It's on YouTube, so they're videos, right?
Okay.
And they do all sorts of different things, and a lot of times they'll use a mic where it's
In stereo.
stereo, so it goes from one side to the other, or they'll use two mics, so it sounds like it's over here, then it sounds like it's over here, and it actually like gives you tingles. Like if
No
it's
kidding.
done right, it makes you feel things.
ASMR.
ASMR. It's a whole sub genre on YouTube.
Autonomous sensory meridian response.
There you go.
Wow. I'll stick with ASMR.
Yes.
Yeah, that's much better.
There's lots of ASM artists on there.
I'll have to check that out.
But yeah, it's very soothing. Back before I was with my wife, I would listen to it to help me fall asleep.
No kidding.
It's very relaxing, very soothing.
How interesting.
But I also like the sound of running water and rain. I love the sound of a thunderstorm. Sorry, that was a very long answer.
No, I've learned something new today.
The seat is really hot, so let's get it.
What sound or noise do you hate?
High pitched, piercing sounds, especially if the refrigerator makes that just really high whiny noise, it just drives me crazy. Or also like really sudden, like dishes clinking together, drives me crazy.
Oh, yeah, that's
Can't
a
do
bad
it.
one.
Can't do it. It's piercing.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Those sounds.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah, those are bad ones. Ah, man, I have to think a little harder about these questions for myself because, like, I try to think about like noises that make me furious.
Yeah.
And I know I have them. I just can't pull them to memory. I feel like I've repressed them so
You
much.
ask these questions all the time. I feel like you should have answers to them.
I don't.
Also, my dog has this hard plastic bone. It's like a substitute for an actual bone, and she loves to chew on it while we're trying to fall asleep. It's just
Right.
I'm like, you're lucky you're cute.
Must you do this now?
Right.
Yep, she has terrible timing though.
One of our favorite questions to ask here in the Lipton Tea.
Yes,
What is your favorite curse word?
Scheiße,
Scheiße. I love it.
Scheiße. Maybe we can talk some more
Hops und
about hops
schnapps.
and schnapps. We can maybe talk about some more in a minute.
What profession other than your own would you like to try?
Pilot.
Nice.
Yes.
What job would you not do under any circumstance?
Anything that involves bad smells. So,
Anything to do with poop.
anything to do with poop or garbage or when I was in high school, I worked. Okay, very brief tangent. I'm sorry. I worked. We lived near a lake, and there's lots of lake vegetation in the lake. It would get chopped up by boats, motors, and it would float to the shore, right? And people would own vacation homes on the lake, and they weren't there most of the time. So for a whole summer, for a couple of properties, I would rake these weeds up from the shore and haul them away. And that was some of the raunchiest smelling shit I've ever smelled in my entire life. I can still smell it. It's embedded in my nose, and I will never, ever do anything like that again.
Well, there you go. And finally,
Yes.
if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
You made a difference.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. The Lipton Tea.
There we go.
Very good.
There we go.
Very good. There you guys. Get your thinking caps on because coming up next, we'll put your knowledge of popular music to the test with a round of Name That Tune.
Woo!
But before we get into that, how about another tune
Oh, okay.
from Sweet Butter Joe? Yeah.
Whoop, whoop.
You know, actually, people. Oh, wrong microphone. You know, people like to play Name That Tune when I perform because it starts out so, builds one layer after another. So they're like, we try to guess what it is
Right.
before you actually start. This one you're not going to name, though, because it's an original.
Yes, we love originals.
I don't have many, but this is one of them.
We don't have to put a label on it. We may not be official, but that's just superficial, yeah. And whatever it is we call it, can't deny it's something special, even though we're not official. Safe to say it's unconventional, but we started unintentional. To qualify it, I was hesitant. Never meant it to be permanent, but logic is useless. No point in excuses. I've tried to refute this, but baby, we both know the truth is we don't have to put a label on it. We may not be official, but that's just superficial, yeah. And whatever it is we call it, I can't deny it's something special, even though we're not official, babe. We say we're not exclusive, but the truth is more elusive. Meant to keep my options open, best to leave those words unspoken. But logic is useless, no point in excuses. I've tried to refute this, but baby, we both know the truth is that we don't have to put a label on it. We may not be official, but that's just superficial, yeah. Whatever it is we call it, I can't deny it's something special, even though we're not official, babe. You know me, I made a list of all the reasons we couldn't coexist. All the pressures formed by societal norms, expectations to which we didn't conform. But I was just scared, unprepared for the unanticipated chemistry that we shared. Didn't realize what I wanted. Now your absence leaves me haunted. We don't have to put a label on it. We may not be official, but that's just superficial, yeah. And whatever it is we call it, can't deny it's something special, even though we're not official, babe. We don't have to put a label on it. We may not be official, but that's just superficial, yeah. And whatever it is we call it, I can't deny it's something special, even though we're not official, babe. We don't have to put a label on it. We don't have to put a label on it. May not be official, but that's just superficial, baby. And whatever it is we call it, whatever I can't deny it's something special, even though we're not official, babe. Thank you.
Dude.
Woo!
Thank
Awesome.
you. Thank you.
I was getting massive, like, Justin Timberlake vibes
Oh my
on
God.
that whole tune, dude.
That's like the-
even your voice.
That's like the nicest compliment you can give me.
I love that tune.
I love
What's
Jordy
crazy is that you
so
did
much.
put a label on it and you put a
I
ring
did.
on it. You did all the right things.
So this is funny. This is a funny story.
Do as I say, or do.
So-
Not. Never mind. I don't know. Got nothing.
Have another drink,
Yeah.
Jordan.
I'm just going to sit. You know what I'm trying to say.
I think.
Do as I.
Yes.
Okay.
Do as I say, not as I do.
But you.
But I did.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah. That's
so
where I got confused.
Tom Holler was my best man at my wedding, and he had this running joke. I think he recorded a video of me doing that song, and in the background, he's like saying silly things in a silly voice, right? And one of the things was like, "Get out your label makers, everybody!" Is I don't know. He's just being silly,
funny.
right? So it became a thing. Like that song, it was always like, get out your label makers. So.
Yeah, there's a jukebox on in the
Oh,
back.
okay. All right. Sorry. No, it's fine. I just thought I was hearing things. So we sat down to dinner at my wedding, and what did I said something to him like, "I'm surprised you didn't like bring a label maker just as a joke,
Uh-huh.
And he's like, "Oh man." Yeah, no, that would have been funny. That would have been hilarious if I had thought of that. And I was like, yeah, it would have. Oh, well, whatever. Right? During his best man speech,
Oh, no.
he busted out like a legit label maker
That's amazing.
and like printed out husband and wife and made us wear them the rest of the night.
That is genius.
And he played it off so well. Like when I said that and he was like, oh man, that would have been such a good idea. I was like, oh yeah, it really would have.
It's sitting in his coat pocket.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
That's
that
awesome.
that was a win for him.
Oh, that's for Tom Holler.
For Tom Holler. Love you, buddy.
Before
That must
we,
have been like eating him up inside. Like, whoa.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
he said at that moment, he was like, yes, nailed it.
Nailed it.
Yes.
Because he knew it was coming.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Before we jump into the game, I just want to touch on a couple of our live comments here.
Oh, we have live.
Oh, yes. There was a
Yeah,
lot.
so many good ones. Zach Jones from
Zach.
Snorkel Corn,
Hey, buddy.
he chimed in. He said, sexy. And then he said, sucks Joe and I are both married now. Gonna constantly wonder what could have been.
Snorkel butter.
The Ryan Owens, Snorkel
Or
Butter.
buttered snorkel buttered corn. Buttered snorkel. I don't know.
Oh, that's good. I like where
I
you're
like
going.
snorkel butter.
Yeah.
Snorkel butter.
Gross.
That's a new brand. We're coming out with it.
The Ryan Owens
The
said,
Ryan.
tell Joe I want Dream Girl, baby.
Oh, it's coming, buddy.
All right. Paul Robertson from the Drums and Rums podcast tuning in. He is our top fan. Believe that? Yeah, Paul. You're our top fan.
You're a winner, baby.
You're a winner, baby. He said he recommended that we do an entire episode of ASMR.
That would be fantastic.
How about that? And yeah, Paige, I had no idea what that was until now, and now I do. So I get to check it all out.
You're a little behind the curve on that one.
Yeah. Linda said, "Great tune."
Thanks, Linda.
So
I don't know which Linda. I know a few Lindas.
this is our friend Linda. Our friend Linda.
Your friend Linda?
Yeah. she's
My friend
tuning
Linda,
in.
no, too. Thank you, Linda.
Yeah.
And then Paige also said, Joe's killing that sax. Hashtag baby making music.
Many children conceived on tonight.
Well, I'm married now, so.
I think they're making their own kids.
No, I'm just saying, like, it may come eventually, little Butter Junior. But,
Little butter baby.
Butter baby.
And if they're bad kids, they're whipped butter.
Oh.
Anyway, you guys,
That was good. Wow.
we'd like to invite all of you tuning in live on Facebook and YouTube and JNC Radio, even though you can't chime in with us, but to play along with us in this interactive round of Name That Tune. All right.
I can't wait to see what category you chose.
So nervous.
Is it songs
gonna
about,
be-
is it songs about butter? I don't think they are.
Oh, you know what? I could have done a mix.
That would have been better.
But I didn't.
Oh, okay.
Well, you guys, a little bit of the rules of the game. As always, we're looking for the name of the song and the artist. You put your guesses in the chats and comments while we'll be guessing here in the lounge. At the end of the game, we'll select a lucky participant to be entered into some fun JNC swag in our monthly raffle drawing next week. I don't know who wrote this script, but must have been probably drinking scotch. I don't know.
Who could that be?
Can I point out, never mind, I'll point it out later.
No, please.
I don't want to, I'm just so bad at tangents, but
Point it
I
out.
wore a cocktail shirt just for you today.
You did.
I love it. You're going to have to zoom in. Maybe you'll have to do it on
I
your
don't know if
cool
you
new
can zoom
device.
Yes, maybe I
Get
will do
close.
that.
Cocktails all over it.
I love it.
All over.
You brought the jams
I
and the
did.
cocktails
I
on your
did.
shirt.
I really did.
I love it.
I love it. That's awesome.
Well, you guys, next week we will be making our monthly raffle drawing for some cool swag. Tonight's category is, of course, sexy sax songs.
Oh my God.
S cubed.
Say that 3 times fast.
There's got to be, I'm going to write down the answer to one right now.
Go ahead and do it. Probably the first one.
This is going to be bad. I'm thinking one has to. Never mind. I think I might know one too.
Joe's already got his guess down.
I'm going to put mine too. Let's
Don't
have a
show me,
random.
don't show me yet. Let me play the clue first.
All right, do it.
All right, you guys. Here's your first clue for Name That Tune. I feel like
This is kind of hilarious. This is a fun game too.
Oh,
This is the song.
This is the other obvious one.
that was it. That was it.
That's okay. You should probably just put an underscore.
No, that was it. I got it.
Oh, that was it?
Yeah, that's what I wrote down.
That's hilarious.
It's not
Here it
one.
is one more time for you guys. Ryan said, duh.
Duh. I already wrote it down. Is this the first time somebody's guessed a song before you even played it?
Jordan is notorious for doing
I've done it
it.
a few times, but
Oh,
never
okay.
like this. Yeah.
First guess.
Scotty Benge in with the win. Oh, wrong sound effect there. I don't. Is it Wham or is it George Michael?
I think it's George Michael.
I think it's just George Michael. So, Scott, you got half credit there. It is Careless Whisper by George Michael. What did you have, Jordan?
Oh, I really butchered it. Well, I put Bruno Mars because I figured that was my guess. Well, that was like the before the song, and then I thought, I just okay, yeah.
But valiant effort.
Thank you. It was all
All right,
bad.
let's see if I can guess the next one before you play.
Okay. I like this game.
This is fun.
You might not guess this one. This one's, I wouldn't say that it's an obscure tune, but maybe in the saxophone world.
It's an obscure tune.
I think I know what song it's going to be, but I can't remember who does it.
Paul Robertson said,
Oh, I should be writing this.
he said, wrong sexy song. Todd and Laura from tcnightlife.com also said Careless Whisper about George.
Those guys are great, by the way. Love them.
Love them. Awesome,
Yes.
awesome.
So amazing.
Here is our second clue.
I got it again. I did it.
You did it.
Shut the
Staring
hell
at
up.
my
I
notes.
did it. I just can't remember the artist, but I got the song.
This is amazing. You're like a psychic. Here it is one more time for you guys playing at home. Scott Benj came back. He said was released on 24th of July in 1984 on the Wham album "Make It Big." So,
All right, Scott, you win. You win, buddy.
Dang.
How about that? Fact
You
checking.
win. Thank you for correcting me.
And Scott in with Jerry Rafferty, Baker
Jerry
Street.
Rafferty. I couldn't remember Jerry.
There
Rafferty.
you got it, Bakers. That's amazing. Paul Robertson with Baker Street. Todd and Laura with Baker Street.
All right, I have to be the person who guessed both the first two songs.
I mean, all of them.
That is-
I think you can do them all.
All right, let's see if I can do the next
Ooh,
one.
this one might be a little tricky.
Hold on, give me 1 second.
Dig deep.
You got to dig deep.
Dig deep into that.
Todd and Laura said that's high school memories there with Baker
right.
Street. What did you have, Jordan?
I put that sax song.
I'm just gonna write down the artist for this next one.
Okay.
Oh, me too.
Oh, okay.
I gotta follow suit.
All right. Are you guys ready for the next clue?
Same, Jordan.
Here we are. Third clue.
Only
name
'cause you
that
said that,
tune.
it triggered.
Sexy sax songs.
Oh,
Nope.
that's not it. Okay, but I do know this one.
Everybody's erasing.
Yeah.
Here it is one more time. I had to throw a twist in there.
One more time.
Paul Robertson in with the win.
Nice.
What is it?
It is Brass Monkey by the Beastie Boys.
Beastie Boys. Yeah.
Look at you, Jordan. Oh, Jordan finally got one.
I thought it sounded like one of those NXS.
Not in excess.
There's some good saxophone parts in their tunes.
Yeah,
It's that same time period, though, right?
I think so.
Kind of
guess
has
it
that
would be,
same,
yeah.
has
I
that
think it
same
was, yeah.
sound to it.
Scott in there with Beastie Boys. Funky Monkey.
Sorry, I'm not a big Beastie Boys guy.
Aaron Brumberg, our wonderful neighbor from next door,
Aaron.
in with the win there.
Your
at-
next door neighbor, that's awesome.
Yeah, he's right next door.
Yeah, we love
Brass
him.
Monkey.
Is he the one with the dog that I saw earlier? Is he over there?
Oh,
No,
this way.
he's on this
Oh,
way.
okay.
And Paige Fox in with Brass Monkey, Beastie Boys. Well done, you guys. Killing it tonight.
Is there more?
Fourth clue. We got two more clues.
Oh dear.
All right, I'm gonna stop guessing ahead of time now. I nailed the first two. I feel like I'm just gonna leave it at
Yep.
that. Like,
I think
All right.
that's.
I
yeah.
feel really good about that, by the way.
That is impressive, honestly, and in order
I'm,
too.
I'm kind of blown away.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Next clue. It's one of my favorite bands. I love them. Here it is one more time.
It's probably not that.
Know the song, don't know if I got the title, and I don't know the band. But I could sing it for you.
All right. I'll take that as an answer. Just give us a minute. Paul in with the win there. And Linda in with the name of the song. Do you know the hook? That's correct. Scott in and Todd and Laura both in.
Is that the name of the song?
With Who Can It Be Now?
Hey,
And-
I got Hood.
Yeah.
Could.
What did you have, Jordan?
That's what I put too. Who could
There
it
you
be
go.
now?
Was it Can? Is it Can?
Can?
Who-
Can it?
I think it's Who Can It Be Now?
That's probably that.
Linda and Paige in with the answer there.
Who
and
was
it is by Men at Work.
Men at Work. Oh my God.
Good one.
Favorite Men at Work song? Personally, I come from the land down under.
Yeah.
That's Men at Work, right?
It is a regular on my set list.
Thunder.
I met a strange lady.
Can you hear the thunder?
Something about a Vegemite sandwich.
Yes.
Delicious.
You better run. You better. I've never tried Vegemite.
It's like vegetable jelly.
You know, you should do a new segment on your podcast sometime, like the JNC podcast tries weird things.
We did want to do a literal jams and cocktails
We need to
episode
get that.
where we
that.
just try exotic jams.
I was gonna bring you some guava jelly that we had in our fridge, but jelly and jam are different. I think,
Yeah,
so.
you wouldn't have been the first because Kevin McLaughlin brought us cherry preserves a few weeks ago, and I'm still eating it. I ate it for lunch today. I swear to God. It's delicious. I make like a grilled ham and cheese or ham and Swiss, and I put some of that on there.
That's called a Monte Cristo, isn't it? When they do the ham and cheese and like a jelly.
Oh,
It's so good. Oh, that's yummy.
making me hungry now.
Sweet and savory.
Paul Robertson actually said something about a Vegemite sandwich
There
and
you go.
salsa. Salsa. That was
He was big and tall and full of muscles.
yes.
That's
6'4" to be exact.
6'4". That's what it is.
Wow.
All right, final
6'4".
clue,
You guys.
Jordan.
Oh.
This is your time to shine. You could probably guess this one. Yeah, go ahead. Write it down.
Okay.
Paul already guessed this one earlier. Here it is. Final clue. The whole song.
So I actually thought it was something else.
Yeah, I don't know, but I
I feel like I really should know what that is.
But Paul nailed it straight out of the gate.
I feel like I should know what that. I thought it was Kokomo.
Linda, I know it sounds like that,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I thought it was.
Linda got the artist. Todd and Laura got the name of the song.
I'm gonna
Paul Robertson, it said it's pantry dropping time.
Pantry.
Pantry.
Drop that pantry.
We're talking about sandwiches. He wants to drop that pantry.
Nice.
Everybody's got it in here.
What is
It
it?
is. What did you guys have here in the lounge?
I didn't have anything. I wrote Kokomo down.
yeah,
And then it changed.
That's a pretty good sax solo in that song.
It
though.
is, and that's like the same beat. I
It
swear.
is. What did you have, Jordan?
Oh, I butchered it. I put Chazé or something.
You're
I couldn't-
so close. I'm
So
going to
that's-
give you the point because it
it's-
is Sade.
Sade.
Smooth operator.
Oh my god.
It's a jam.
I can't believe I loaded the whole. I didn't load the clip. I loaded the whole track.
Let's just listen to it.
Yeah, just play it.
Oh, Facebook will kick us off.
Oh,
So
Good job, you guys.
can I give you a few of my favorites that I would have included?
Oh my God, please.
Urgent by who does Urgent? Shoot.
Foreigner.
Foreigner. That's
Great
a good one.
Great
That's a good
song.
one. One of my favorite sax solos of all time is a lesser known Huey Lewis and the News tune called Trouble in Paradise.
Huh. I didn't even think to include Huey Lewis.
There's a great lots of Huey Lewis and the News tunes have some killer saxophone solos in them. Now I'm drawing a blank, but those are two really good ones.
Nice. Well, you
There's-
guys, before
the saxophone solo in that one Katy Perry tune,
the
where
one-
Kenny G is in the music video. It's
oh my God,
hilarious.
I'm surprised.
Friday night.
Oh
It's
yeah, yeah.
Friday night.
yeah.
You're
last
right.
Friday night.
There's a great little
Last
saxophone
Friday,
solo.
there really is a good one. I didn't even think of that.
Is it Thrift Shop by Macklemore that has a cool little bump, 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 bump. I don't know if that's Thrift Shop, but
I think so. Maybe.
no, maybe a different one.
I think you're on the right track
All right.
though.
And there's a great saxophone solo in there's a newer tune by Nick Jonas of all people called Heaven that it's a jam and it has a cool saxophone solo in it.
Ooh, we're getting a bunch
It's a
of we're getting a
jam.
bunch of people.
Oh, people are chiming in now?
Yeah, they are.
All right, great.
It's awesome.
What else we got?
We have Trouble in Paradise.
Yes, who said that?
That is Scott Benj.
Scott Bench. Oh my
Yep.
God, Scott. That's one
Right.
of my favorite saxophone solos
So good.
of
Scott-
all time.
Scott also
Thank
mentioned
you.
Pink Floyd's Money or
Yes.
Them and Us, which are good ones as well.
Us and them.
Us and them.
Side note, I'm in a Pink Floyd tribute band.
Oh, no
actually,
kidding.
Sweet.
Called the Floyd Experience.
Oh, I was gonna say.
Did I just say that wrong? The Floyd Experience. They're fantastic. We do everything. They play a whole show. I only play on like 4 tunes because,
Right.
saxophone is only on like 4 of them.
We saw a pretty good Pink Floyd tribute band called Pig Floyd. We
Pig
saw them at the EC Theater last year or the year before, I guess.
I haven't heard of them.
Yeah.
But
Good
it's
show.
it's pretty cool. We got some shows coming up. Check out the Floyd Experience. We do some
Floyd Experience.
It's a light show. There's a video. It's a production.
How did I miss this? How
Anyway.
did I not get this in the
Anyways,
interview?
yes, Pink Floyd would have been a great one. What else we got in the chat? I want to hear.
That's it for now.
No Clarence Clemens.
Oh, Clarence Clemens.
Oh yeah, anything.
Yeah, E Street Band.
Yeah.
Stupid me.
I mean, you can only do
Idiot.
what 4? How many did we do? 5?
5.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to choose from.
There is.
Yeah.
Well,
Fair.
I'll let it slide. And
this time.
I was surprised you didn't throw in any like Kenny G Christmas album.
Yeah, Kenny G.
Thank you. Thank you, though.
Miracles.
Yes, no, thank you for not doing it. Thank you.
I figured I would.
Thank you.
Scott also said Supertramp Logical Song. It's a good sax song.
I actually don't know that one.
I don't know that either.
I'm sorry, Scott.
Logical.
But you were on board with Trouble in Paradise, so
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a very, very like lesser known Huey Lewis and the News tune. But what it is, so it's a live recording. And the guy in his band who played the saxophone starts, and he plays half the solo. And then they had the Tower of Power horn section playing along with them. And whoever the saxophone player was in the group at that point takes over the solo halfway through. And it's some of the most, just the tastiest. Oh, it's so good. I don't know if you can look it up and play it right now, but is that something you can do?
I don't think
After
so.
Dark.
Okay.
Okay,
All
wait.
right.
What is it?
Trouble in Paradise, Huey Lewis and the News.
Okay.
It just makes me feel something every time I hear it. It's so good. Just when you think it can't go higher, it goes higher.
Oh, I have to get down on that.
Yeah,
for sure.
We're doing it in
I
After
learned
Dark.
that I actually played that solo. I can play that solo. I used to be able to. I don't know if I can anymore, but I played it for an audition one time, I think, for something.
Ooh.
I hope you got it.
I think it was Carnival Cruise Lines. I got the gig, but then I didn't take it.
Cruise ships,
Yeah,
whole
no.
other experience.
Yeah. You did cruise ships,
I
right?
did for a long time.
Oh.
I can't say that you didn't miss out, but the gig is horrible.
I have a lot of friends who did cruise ships. And
Yeah.
I actually played the amusement park instead.
Ah,
I don't know if that's much better.
it's similar. You're just landlocked at that point. Well, you
But
guys
you can leave when you're done.
Yeah, exactly. You can
True.
still get McDonald's and whatever you
Yeah,
want.
yeah.
You know, drive a car.
Yeah.
It's always fun.
Drive a car.
Well, you guys, it's time to give you all what you need to get through.
Wait.
Oh yeah, we didn't do that.
Yeah.
All right, how many people did we have, Jordan?
We had 5.
5 players.
5 players.
All right. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna give you a drum roll.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. 6.
6.
Sorry.
6 players. We're gonna
count.
give you a drum roll. At the end of the drum roll, you're gonna pick a number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6,
a lot
and they
of
will be
pressure.
entered into our JNC swag raffle happening next week.
Okay.
Don't
All right.
screw it up.
Don't screw it up. Here we go. Drum roll.
We're going with Brett Favre, number 4.
Number 4.
Our neighbor, Aaron.
Hey, neighbor Aaron. All right.
It's so easy to deliver prizes to him.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Well, you guys, it's time to give you all what you need to get through and over the midweek slump. Take some notes. This is your midweek motivation. So I'll be doing today's midweek motivation, since our motivational speakers haven't touched base with me yet today. Today's topic for midweek motivation is one that I hold dear to me. You guys, things are temporary. Tough situations, hard times, broken hearts, being locked up. It's important to know that there is always a light at the end of the tunnel. But it's up to you to press on to get out of there. It's okay to feel emotional or cry or be angry. Have those feelings, learn from them, and then move on and move forward. On the flip side, it's also important to remember that good situations, time spent with family and friends, and even life itself is temporary. So cherish every moment. Most importantly, be present. This has been your midweek motivation. When we come back, we'll share our shameless plugs. But first, here's one more tune from the saxiest man alive, Sweet Butter Joe.
Yeah. How many more do I have left? I got to decide which one I want to do.
Oh, I mean,
Can I do 2 more?
you could do 2 more.
Total? Okay.
Come
All
on,
right.
come on, girl.
We'll let you.
We'll let you do whatever you want.
Yes.
All right, here we go.
So keep it up and quench my desire, and I'll be at your side forevermore. I was downhearted, disappointment was my closest friend. But then you came and soon departed. You know he never showed his face again. That's why your love keeps on lifting me higher and higher and higher. I said your love keep on lifting me higher and higher. I'm so glad that I finally found you. Less than one in a million girls, and I wish my loving arms around you. I didn't know I could stand up and face the world. I said your love keeps on lifting me higher, higher and higher. I said your love keep on lifting me higher and higher. I said your love keeps on lifting me higher, higher and higher. I said your love keeps on lifting me higher, higher and higher. I said your love keeps on lifting me higher, higher and higher. I said your love keeps on lifting me higher, higher and higher. I said your love keeps on lifting me higher, higher and higher. I said your love keeps on lifting me.
Thank you. I'm pretty sure I skipped an entire verse somehow. I'm not sure.
That was awesome.
That was-
Loved it.
I don't know. It's just, I think it sounded all right.
Really, really cool.
It was a sneak peek.
Yeah.
Two things before we jump into the next
Abbreviated
segment.
version.
So, do you find it difficult in choosing songs to loop because they stay in the same general chord progression, or have you figured out how to because like I use Stephen D. Hunt as an example because
Great example.
he's a master of multiple loops with bridges and different verses and choruses and things like that. Is that something that you do or that you're hoping to expand to?
So mostly I am stuck with tunes that are the same progression the entire time. It takes long enough for me to build one loop than to try to do a separate bridge section.
Right.
But there are a couple exceptions. I could do something really quick for you, and it'll be sort of quick. Can I take like 2 minutes to build a separate loop for you?
You know, my boss might have a problem with it. Oh wait, I am the boss.
That's right, you're the boss.
Let's do it. Let's
Brad
do it.
the boss. All right, so for those listening at home and not watching, I have two separate loop pedals. I have one that has 3 tracks on it. That's what I've been using most of the time. So those line up with each other. It's really easy to bring one in, bring one out. You can mix and match them however you want. I have a second loop pedal that's not actually synced up to the main loop pedal. the technology exists, but I don't have it. So I can only use it for sort of like one-offs. So for the most part, I do stick to things that are the same progression. But this one is an exception. I won't do the whole song because it's very long, but I'll just build the loop just so you can see what it is.
Love it.
Ooh.
I'll skip to the chorus here. So yeah, that's like a 10-minute long song. But
Damn it. That was beautiful.
so yeah, so something like that, where if it doesn't take super long to build section B,
Right.
I also do a version of Seven Nation Army, which
That's a great one.
has a brief little something else. So if it already takes like 2 to 3 minutes for me to build each one of my loops. So I try not to
But it's I mean,
make that even longer.
that was such a great. I mean, the transition was flawless. Like
Yeah.
it was seamless. So
There's a
like,
lot going on with the feet. It's like learning a dance, kind of. It's
Yeah.
a lot of choreography. When I first started, for that first gig that I played at Sailfish Brewery, I had so many things to remember because they were all brand new to me. Now it's easy
Right.
because I've been doing it for so long and I
Right,
remember
sure.
exactly how everything goes. And if I add a new song, it's only one song that I have to remember. Yeah, it's all about, and you got to be able to anticipate what's coming next because you have to be proactive as opposed to reactive when it comes to hitting all these different pedals.
right.
And stuff.
It's like flying a plane.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I would insult any actual pilots by saying that, but it's you got to kind of know what's coming up next.
It's awesome, man.
Nice.
So-
Stephen D, he was hilarious. He's like, half of the LEDs on my pedals don't work anymore. He's like, I have no idea what's going on or what's being erased or
That would be tough. That would be tough if the LEDs weren't, because a lot of times I rely on that to see
Sure.
like what's on, what's not on,
Right.
what's playing, what's not playing. Sometimes if I'm playing in like bright sunlight, you can't see shit.
anything.
So there's always extra challenges.
Yep,
Yeah.
I can relate. Secondly,
Yes.
that was awesome, by the way.
Yeah,
Thank
that was
you.
so
Super.
cool.
I'm really glad
It was
that
a really long answer to your question.
no, it's all good. Now that I'm noticing your shirt, I've taken a look at your entire outfit, and I would be remiss if I
Yes.
didn't mention the SJ or the SBJ hats.
SBJ. Shout out to my wonderful friend Noelle in Portland, Oregon.
Yeah,
She bought me this. She bought me this hat as a birthday present.
For those of you that don't know what SBJ stands for, it's Sweet Butter Joe. Sweet Butter Joe.
Don't
Very
try to make it stand for anything else. All right. It's just I've heard it all.
Slow BJ.
It's not funny anymore. It's just
I was thinking Super Brad Jordan
Oh,
I don't know.
yeah, no. Oh, that
or Joe.
you're adorable over there. Oh, wonderful.
sweet
Brad Jordan.
salty bunny jams. I don't know.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Salty,
Salty
bunny
butter
jam.
jam.
I don't know. That's weird.
Oh my god.
Speaking of butter, I noticed you poured 5 shots earlier, and there's 2 just sitting there
What
still.
are you saying?
I feel like they're gonna go to waste.
I think it's shot time.
I think a shot. I mean, maybe pour a third. So,
Okay, so we
one of
all-
us isn't left out.
Yeah, true.
Please don't leave me out. Cheers, you guys.
Gracias. Cheers. Salud.
De nada.
Slancho. Do you say Donata?
Well, I said gracias.
Yeah, no, I said de
Oh,
nada.
Yeah.
okay. Well, that's perfect then.
That is butterscotchy.
Yeah.
It is.
Yes.
It tastes just like the candies at our front door.
It really. Your
Oh,
front-
yes. We
your
have some of
front
those
door?
for you when you go.
I'll take one on the way out.
Yeah, just take a quick glance around the house on your way out. We stole it from 100-year-old woman, and that's what our house is,
She probably had them since she was a child.
Yes. Everything is an antique.
including us.
Yes.
Well, you guys, the time has come to go around the lounge and share with you all the things that we've got going on, and you should be checking out in the segment that we call, Jordan, what do we call this segment?
Shameless Plugs.
So we're going to let our special guest, Joe, start off. So, Joe, take it away.
I love your graphics, by the way. I just have to say that. You guys,
Thanks, man.
I love what you're doing here. So, shameless plug for the JNC podcast. They are killing it. Thank you for having me on. You should watch more of their videos. You should listen to some of their old ones if you're just tuning in now. Fantastic. I love what you're doing here. So I already mentioned open mic every Monday, Vine and Barley Stewart, right downtown Stewart, 7 to 10. Sign up starts at 6:30. Come on out and show us what you got. Or if you just want to hear some local people play music and drink some delicious beer and wine and you don't want to actually participate, that's fine too. Come on out. I do want to promote this. This is something that's very near and dear to me. I am, okay. I am a member of the board of directors of the Lindsay School of Arts based in Fort Pierce, Florida. If you are familiar with Fort Pierce at all, there's a very large, old, abandoned school on Orange Avenue called St. Anastasia. The Lindsay School of Arts offers completely free art, fine arts classes, music, dance, theater, visual art, painting, drawing, to kids in the Fort Pierce community, absolutely free to them. They have gotten to the point where they cannot accept any more students, and so they were able to get a 30-year lease for that school that you see on Orange Avenue.
I pass it all the time. Yeah,
It's a super cool old building. They have the funds to. It's going to be completely remodeled, redone, updated, and they're going to be moving into that within the next couple years or so, which will drastically expand their ability to serve the children, the young people in the Fort Pierce community, and be able to accept many more people into their classes. So it's a super cool thing. Like I said, completely free to the families and the students that are part of it. right now we have an opportunity to apply for a grant from I have to look at it here, the Cultural Facilities Grant with the state of Florida, up to $500,000, and they match it. Wow. So that's a lot, and it's awesome. We need to have at least half of that pledged in future, half of that in future pledges. Mm-hmm. So $250,000 worth of future pledges. So if you are passionate about the arts, if you want to support the arts, kids need exposure to the arts, and this is a great way for them to do it for free. You can donate to the Lindsay School of the Arts, or you can fill out a future pledge donation. It's very, it's not like you're not signing your life away.
Right.
But it will help us. It'll help us, obviously, in the future, and also help us qualify for this grant. There's also some really cool sponsorship packages at the new facility for various levels of donations. You can get a brick with your name on it. You can get a parking spot with your name on it. You can get like dressing rooms, way up there. You can get whole classrooms named after you, sort of things like that. So various levels of sponsorship, and you can get your name on this facility, get your name on the building.
Perhaps the JNC
learning room
podcast
would be a great opportunity for that as well. So it's a really cool thing. It's amazing what they're doing. Cindy, who is the founder and the driving force behind this thing, she's incredible, and it's really cool what they're doing. So a lot of great opportunities to give back to the community. So if you want to contact me, can I give my contact information?
Yeah, of course. Okay. I mean, you might get some weirdos sending you some.
If they're watching this, they're probably not weirdos. So, shoot me a text or give me a call, 715-584-0088. And I can send you some information. I can send you our sponsorship package and show you all the ways you can contribute and be part of something that's really, really super cool. I mean, music education is something that's vitally important. So
it's awesome.
Not just music, sorry, arts.
And the arts, as a whole, and they've been around for ages. I remember when they were, I guess they're on Orange Avenue
they're in the Peacock House
in the
right
Peacock
now.
House.
Yeah. And it's, it's a cool facility, but they are maxed out, and they have so many people on their waiting list and people they have to say no to because they can't accommodate them. But once we move into this new facility, I think it's more than triple like what they're able to accommodate now.
Yeah, and it's such a cool building too, and
really
for
cool
it to just
building.
sit derelict as it has been for the last umpteen years.
Yeah, I know. And I've always thought somebody needs to do something with this building.
Yes.
And then I was like,
it's beautiful.
Somebody's doing something with this
really
building.
nice.
It's awesome. It's not just getting torn down. So they've also got events. Once a month they do a Build Up the Block event.
Our friends Zach Jones and the Sandman Sleeps band, they perform there. Yep.
Just a community thing coming out and support, and it's just really. It's a really cool thing that they're doing. I'm really excited to be part of it. So.
Well, you know what I would love to do with this information is maybe we can put together an episode where we can bring on some of the people.
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
Whenever they're gearing up to put a major donation push, maybe let's put together a show. We'll get together and we'll put together some good content for them to put out there.
That would be fantastic.
And at least do our part to keep the arts relevant and important here on the Treasure Coast.
That's awesome, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Absolutely.
That'd be awesome.
Those are my shameless plugs.
Shameless plugs.
Very good ones. Very nice.
Well, Jordan, any shameless plugs from you tonight?
No, sir. I've been shameful enough. Thank you.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, you guys, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for tuning in to the show live on Facebook, YouTube, and JNC Radio. And I'd like to invite those of you catching the replay to join us for live episodes each Wednesday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern. Wherever you're tuning in, please, again, give us a share, follow, like, and subscribe. Big shout out to our sponsors and partners at Code Rum, Hop Life Brewing, Todd and Laura at tcnightlife.com, the single most comprehensive live entertainment calendar on the Treasure Coast. Shout out to Zach at Snorkelcorn Entertainment, Jeff at Treasure Coast Entertainment, the Sneaky Tiki team in downtown Stewart, and our friends at Drizzly.
What?
Get out there and support local. You guys, I've got a few one-man band shows this week. It is Memorial Day weekend, so slammed, you guys. Tomorrow night, I will be at the Square Grouper in in Fort Pierce. I'll be at the Square Grouper in Fort Pierce, jamming with Justin Mandel on bass. We'll be there at 8 p.m. Friday night, I'll be at Hurricane Grill in Palm City at 6 p.m. Saturday afternoon, I will be at Costa d'Este, a resort in Vero Beach at 2 p.m. Sunday early, a nice Bloody Mary time, I will be at Cork in Hope Sound at 11 a.m. And my Monday double is Memorial Day Monday double, you guys. I will be at Blue Point Bar and Grill in Tequesta at 12 p.m. And then I will be moving right on down the street to the Square Grouper in Jupiter at 8 p.m. So that is what I've got going on this weekend. Don't forget to tune in to our companion internet radio station, JNC Radio, powered by Live 365. We're spinning the best local Treasure Coast music, hit tunes, and indie pop, plus the JNC replay each weekday morning. Get the free Live 365 app and search for JNC Radio. Or check out the all-new JNC Podcast mobile app. I just got a new graphic for this, so if you're watching, you can see it. Whoa. You guys, it's free from Google Play and the App Store. It's your one stop for everything JNC. Get it today. You can catch up on all the episodes. You can listen to JNC Radio through it. You can see the tcnightlife.com calendar. And you can watch this podcast live. Get it now, again, on the App Store and Google. How cool is that?
That's super cool.
It's weird without Chris Springer's face everywhere.
I know. I feel like I need to put it in there for posterity.
Yeah.
You guys, I want to give a shout out to some other local podcasts to check out. Our good friend Paul, who's tuning in tonight from the Drums and Rums podcast. He's actually our top fan. Believe that. Go check that out. Ooh. 561 Music Podcast, the Being a Musician podcast, which you will find an episode with a very familiar face. Mr. Joe Tierney was just on that with Flint Blade, and the Living in Lovin' podcast with Monique McCall. These shows are available anywhere you get your podcasts. This has been my Shameless Plugs.
Shameless Plugs.
Shameless Plugs.
Woo.
Shameless Plugs. All right. Well, before we call it a night, we've got one more sexy song for you guys from the one and only sweet Butter Joe. You guys enjoy.
Thank you to everybody who stuck with us 2 hours and 28 minutes through. I appreciate it. I wrote this song for my beautiful, wonderful, amazing wife. Before she was my wife. She's not my wife though. So sorry guys. just about gave up. Tired of looking, searching high and low. Thought that I might have to settle, aim down a little, or wind up so low. Then you came. It feels like forever and only a day. I went from skeptic to believer, a cynic to a dreamer. The only way to explain is that you're my dream girl. Baby, better than I could make up. I don't wanna wake up unless I see you lying next to me. Don't have to close my eyes to see this is reality. Finally lucid, all my visions being realized. Everything that I once dreamed of. So this is true love. Two lives revived, words cannot say. You compliment me in every way. It's a fantasy come true. A million reasons to love you, and a million still to reveal. 'Cause you're my dream girl. Baby, better than I could make up. Don't wanna wake up unless I see you lying next to me. Don't have to close my eyes to see this is reality. It's not a dream. It's not a dream. It's not a dream. It's not a dream. You're my dream girl, baby, better than I could make up. I don't wanna wake up unless I see you lying next to me. Close my eyes to see this is reality. You're my dream girl, baby, better than I could make up. I don't wanna wake up unless I see you lying next to me. Don't have to close my eyes to see this is reality. It's not a dream. It's not a dream. It's not a dream. It's not a dream. Love you, baby.
Oh man,
So cute.
I tell you
love
what.
it.
Lucky girl.
She is.
Yeah.
Lucky
She really
girl.
is. I'm a lucky guy too. I'm so lucky.
Oh.
I really outkicked my coverage on this one. I'm telling you.
No, she's
Cute.
she's awesome, and I'd love to say, oh, I'm so shocked that that it was her, but you're a fucking great dude.
Thanks, man.
And seriously, sweet Butter Joe.
Thank you guys so much. I love what you're doing here. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for coming.
An honor and a pleasure and a privilege.
Oh man, well, it is our honor to have you along with all these incredible guests that we get to sit and chat with and listen and get private personal concerts. It's pretty amazing.
Yes, it's terrible, but someone must do it.
Yes,
So
You must persevere.
it has to be us.
we must persevere.
Yes.
You guys, thank you so much for hanging with us tonight. I certainly hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did here in the lounge. Give it up once again for our amazing special guest, Sweet Butter Joe.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Let's hear it for the amazing Jordan Taylor.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Do the Ringo move.
Oh.
There it is. You guys, next week on the show, we are joined by our good friend, singer-songwriter Bob Green to talk about his new singles and upcoming album. Don't miss it. Until then, my friends, get out there to see Joe perform. And Monday night, go and catch him at the Vine and Barley in Stewart for his open mic. Support local and be safe out there. Broadcasting live from the legendary JNC Lounge, I'm Brad Brock. Good night.
Boop, boop.
So we start to come alive.